able to close it out. And so now we have our sights set on the promised lands of Mirage.
Yeah, and I can promise you that opener was a banger. Stewie just tapped out a ramp player on this quick A play. Liquid knew it was coming there, ready for it, the early warning system.
Oh, Stewie! Oh, Grim can't stop the bomb in time. It's a bit of a whip, it's a bit of a blunder. And Axar's taking off heads. Now it's left to Shiro. Now, I shouldn't have to tell you that this guy's been good at clutches today. A 1v2 for Shiro. Oh, it's a walk in the park. They're both gone. And Shiro starts us off immediately where we left off back on Vertigo. It's more clutches for him, and it's more 1vx's for Gambit.
Just shrug your shoulders if you're Gambit. Yeah, no, expected that. We dropped the P250 for a reason every pistol round. And yeah, Naf, he almost checked it, but not quite. Not quite. Double taps. Shiro's back, and Gambit. You should have never let them get into overtime, Liquid. It might be your biggest mistake.
Yeah, the 4 spies back in for Liquid. They've had a mixed bag of results with these. Some wins, some losses. Let's see what it's going to be today.
Feels like there's been just as many USP round wins as second round Force wins in this series. 1. So yeah, this is a good map for it at least. But Gambit are just going to make it nice and clean by rushing this B site. Hobbit is already taken down 1 of the 3 on B, and Axel is dead. Naf tries to change position, hide out in the smoke. They drop into him. Oh, D-Spab does him justice. 2 kills. The late player catches him, but he's not dead yet. Grim trying to provide some cover. Naf gets mollied out, nowhere to go on 5 health, and that's a good clear from Naf, and he felt like he could barely see Grim through the smoke, but just enough vision to keep Gambit a man up. And forget the plant. They're trying to chase down Stewie, dancing round the back of the bomb site. Swings out wide, but so do they. And Gambit on the road to a 2-0. Just falling in the way.
And he's going to get swept aside easily. Gambit up 2-0. Now just these vanilla pistols for the side of Team Liquid. Doesn't feel right to say just. They've surprised us with them once before, but I cannot imagine that that is going to happen ever again. And thus by saying that, maybe, just maybe, I've willed it into existence.
But you've just, by saying that, you've actually unwilled it.
But by saying that, you have now unwilled it.
So it's going to happen, which means it's not going to happen. And this cycle could go on forever. Look at this.
Unwillingness.
I've never seen this in my life. Boost over ticket to spot connector. They probably don't know where they're dying from. How often do you see this boost?
This is cool.
I've never seen that, Harry. So sadly won't get much from it. Gambit go, they've built a tower. Let's not go there, wherever that is. And obviously you're very open to ramp and palace, so he does clear the latter of which. And more boosts for Liquid. They're full of surprises.
The Liquid boosting service. Here it is, everybody. You asked for it, and they delivered. Gambit, meanwhile, slow, steady, winning the race.
Yeah, in all intents and purposes, slow. Probably not going to win you many races, but luckily it's a marathon, not a sprint. Gambit stumble their way into B with a flashbang, and this is their round. Liquid hoping that they can get exits as Gambit regress. I swear, is this deja vu?
Have we? It's a boost within a boost. We're just reliving, we have to spin a spinning top. Maybe it just keeps going forever. Much like the cycle of caster cursing.
That is true.
So this is Gambit, securing 3. I shouldn't have to tell you that. You should have just been able to look at this situation and go, yeah, Gambit are on 3. But I'll do it anyway. That one's for free.
Stewie wants to die, so they chase him, right? They chase him into market, but they're not coming. Liquid are going to throw themselves at the bomb. Everyone going to die to rifles, though. Gambit are hanging around. Give me those $300 per head. Great deal. But here's that first buy. We should have the AWP as well coming in for Fallen. Shiro saved for it, playing P250 in that previous round.
Yeah, from the get-go, we get to see this head-to-head of Fallen versus Shiro. You're hoping, you know, especially what we've already had out of Shiro to open this, that we can have a nice debut from Fallen with the AWP here on Mirage. He had some phenomenal rounds back on Vertigo, but as we got deep into the OTs, it definitely felt like, you know, that started to tip the scales back in favor of Shiro more often than not. Stewie is going to get walked on in Con, but he's too quick for Axile. Back in CT, Grim is dinked, but still alive for the time being. There's the re-swing from Nap. This is a great bit of trade work. Shiro quick switching just a little too soon before taking that shot. And it's left on to Hobbit. You know, while it's felt like any clutch is winnable for Gambit, this one is not one of them.
They got a dink. It feels like we're getting Liquid, you know, the same Liquid we got at the start of the CT Vertigo, right? Where they're just taking those fights and just 1-2 punching. You can't smoke walk the criminal. He will send you to jail. Bonk. And yeah, if you don't throw in those A smokes for Gambit, doing a dry contact play with a CT smoke and a flash, like, you know, Liquid is just going to fight you tooth and nail for that bomb site. They do. CT and jungle players just trading peaks. And Liquid on the board. Sooner rather than later. Money dripping dry for Gambit. They've got the AWP on Shiro. Tries to take the ramp peak, but no one crossing. And if they were, well, Liquid will find, oh no, the hard way. Into stuck on a Deagle though. Double flash out into middle. Pushes the Liege out of the angle. And Stewie still holds on to Connector. A lot of eyes on Axel in this game as well, starting, however, far stronger than that of Vertigo. Should be a good enough sign of things to come. Could he really do much at B, though? Is he just a late backstab, a late lurk to jump out through apps as Gambit set up this A attack? Will he try and take first contact? It does seem like the former. Still waiting the ramp smoke. But eventually that drop gets heard and Gambit will go. Going back to B, okay. It's a hefty rotate. It's not like Axel has much room either. You just know that stuff like that drop has been heard. A lurk, smoke out on ramp as well. All these things are selling it for Liquid. And there's only one man at B. It's Fallen with the AWP.
Yeah, Fallen's got to have, you know, round of life. He really, really does. Like, if you still want to have a chance, at least a 2-for-1 is what you're hoping for out of Fallen, or a 1 and manage to back up and get the hell out of there.
Well, he's got the easy gun, so it should be fine. Just click on the chest.
Right, let's see if he's good for it. There's the first from Fallen. Still, he also deals with the cat lurk. That is going to give Fallen a lot more room, and it also has so much times getting bought for these rotations now. 2 through lower, they can catch Hobbit. Shiro will best Fallen in the head-to-head, but there's Hobbit narrowly getting away, finally put in the grave by a Liege. A lovely little retake there for Team Liquid, and as we mentioned, right, only Fallen over towards B. The pressure was on him. He nails that opening shot. He's not overzealous in taking that next peek. Stewie's able to call, don't worry. The guy that was flanking you, Cat, is now dead. They can't come short. They're all through apartments. And at that moment, Fallen has such a good, like, mental picture of what's happening. He knows that just by still being a presence in the site, that's enough to slow down that site take. I mean, there's 18 seconds as the push is coming in. Bomb goes down with 5 on the clock. It's a lot of stalling that goes on.
Yeah, Shiro clears him really well, though. He actually mollies back sight, and he perfectly predicts the side that Fallen's going to, you know, swing out on. So, good stall, but also the underflank came in very fast for Liquid. Good reaction to that B play. Realized very quickly that Hobbit throwing that lurk smoke out ramp was nothing but a lurk smoke, and now just Deegs and T250s as Gambit looked to grab individual fights. On towards middle, careful. Inters is patiently waiting for that pick. And Hobbit's even coming in from under, but that's being held. Oh, Elige, did he see him? Surely. Surely saw his legs. Goes both ways. Nafany goes nowhere. And Gambit, I don't see a way they should be able to grab more than damage. Even then, Fallen's dropped the bomb. Followed up. Easy stuff for the AWP. It's all a matter of time until Inters takes down Grim.
Yeah, still shouldn't be a lot of room for this to get that exciting. Oh! But still, you know, you say that a lot with this Gambit squad, and then they'll find ways to surprise you.
Oh! Sort of a surprise.
It gets exciting, all right. Stewie leaping in, gives him a bit of the Ezio Auditore. Jumping down, knives out, stabs him in the face.
That is so ballsy. What on earth? We know Stewie likes to have fun with it. He's been trolling all series long, right? Like teabagging, you know, shooting bodies, but that is something else. Knew he did damage earlier on, and you can't help but laugh. Just calm, just, yeah. I did that, no big deal.
This is good though, right? Like, a lot of the time when Liquid give up these big leads, the team just looks like they kind of crumble and start to get in their own heads, but they're still trying to have fun with this. They're still trying and believing that this is their series. And I mean, hell, when you're splitting hairs as fine as we were back on Vertigo, it's good to see that they're still spurred on, because you know Gambit are.
Yeah, right, definitely a good point. Liquid just not going down without a fight, not getting in their own heads. Still a game to play for, a win to take. Without many recent games for Liquid, Gambit can do nothing but bear the brunt of the CT side. They don't know how to read, they don't know what Liquid are doing, not how to read, but... Well, I can't read how to read. Yeah.
I can't read,
yeah, well,
so I'll hold my hand up and say it.
Sure. There's no demos, is what I'm saying. Gambit are just relying on their own game plan right now, and Liquid have no problem removing them from rounds. Sure, that's a nice, stylish jump into window. We've got a couple of creepy crawlies out ramp as well. Sure, it eventually has to come through connector, and Liquid are trying to stop him from doing that play. They now know that T's could be deep in A, but how deep? Already up sandwiched. Look at how Gambit, like a slinky, pulling it back and forward, and Shiro eventually comes out of under yet again. No way he makes a second jump. He should get stopped from short. There's Elige to keep it collapsed, contained. 2-on-3. Elige baiting him in, and him and Grim swing to close the round. Nice try for Gambit. They were really doing a good job of seesawing them back out of connector, but not enough to close it.
And that's money broken again now for the Gambit squad. So back down to these pistols. It's been familiar territory here. Liquid looking good out of the gate. We've got more of these, like, you know, blink and you miss it rounds, which were very, very common back on Inferno, right? We didn't really have so many on Vertigo. It's more just due to the nature of the map and how everything's a lot more slimy there. Slime time for Gambit, though.
Yeah, the wetter, the better.
That caught me off guard a little bit.
Smoke's down.
Fallen's not been caught off guard, is it? Coming out into his crosshair. Inters will tap one from the round. Stewie going up over the smoke. Look at this criminal looking between the bars. Stewie raised waist to Inters. Now they're hoping for a bomb plant, but not today. The Molly nade combo denies it for the time being.
You're not getting it down now. The smokes have faded. There's more nades coming in. And Napoli should be a dead man. It's all about prolonging the inevitable. And there it is. Elige with another multi-kill round, joined by Stewie. Finds 5 for Liquid. They get rid of the pistols. Liquid have had no problem with removing eco rounds out of Gambit so far. And remember, Gambit went, you know, 3-0 up. So this has been quite the storm for Liquid, quite the tsunami.
Once the rifles have come out, Liquid have been here to play, right? The Fallen Orp's been holding its own really well over towards B. He's not giving up these openers. He's oftentimes, you know, good for a kill on the lurking player that's leaning towards this side of the map. Feels like that's kind of maybe Hobbit a lot of the time. This time, Hobbit's out in middle with the rest of the team in the apartments. It's a bit of a role reverse. Now look at Fallen. He's dropped into middle. Elige's pressuring Cat now. There's a gap in this smoke. Flash. Oh, it's a nade pull, and it diverts the attention away. Naf's playing around the smoke, and he's good for a double as well. Axal and Shiro, they don't really have any options here. The only thing they had was to follow through with a B play. The alternative is to slow it down, see if you're given anything, but if you're not, you might even look to save here.
Yeah, Gambit just can't win mid, right? They are just getting absolutely knocked out of that position, even when they cut off the AWP with the window. Smoke Fallen's dropping lower. Elige is doing things like that. Stewie stopping connector plays. Got it all over mid right now, and Gambit 2-on-4. desperate times, resetting in spawn, and maybe they'll stay here. Otherwise, it's through the palace, and Grim's already taken some serious space. Instead, they go ramp, but I don't even know how much you can get done here. Luckily, you have a lot of space on A, but that is by design. If you get out ramp, you've got to eventually make noise, and with that info, Grim can just collapse on you with the help of his teammates. Are you really going for this? I don't think you are if you're Gambit. 20 seconds, and it looks like they have the same call. They were just trying to find a good spot to save in. Bunker down. Store your nuts in the forest and wait out the winter. Like a squirrel, Harry.
Yeah.
Hold it together.
But this is still, you know, Liquid just straight bowling right now. 6-3. Up in the lead.
Yeah. Feeling the breeze.
And nothing that Gambit can do about it. This angle from Naf, like, how does he get a double there?
It's a little one-way, right? Like, it looks good from him, but they can see far less than he can see. So, it's a nice play. 6-3, and that save, they've at least allowed a buy. Obviously, saving players have no utility left up. It's up to the rest of Gambit to pick up the pieces. Back to an A split, a fast one through connector. This is going to be down to Stewie to stop it. He's taking the first through smoke. That's out of nowhere. Fallen jumps up into the window, but the lead is always good to get this mid-trade when things get hairy. Now it's just down to the ramp play. Forget the split. It's all out A.
And they come into Grim. He's hiding under Palace, and he's rewarded with the first. A lot of damage to Inters, but this could still get out of hand. Whenever Shiro is alive, I find myself still believing in this Gambit squad. The flash is going to move Stewie out of position, and now that bomb can look to go down. You don't have a CT smoke, so you've just got to hope and pray that no one's there. Luckily enough, fortune favors Gambit here. No one in CT. Shiro removes one of these comm players. Now spots a second. They still don't know where Nafly is. That's something they're having to contend with now. But the longer that he goes unchecked, the more they're going to consider this wraparound. Inters is holding it. But Naf still locks in the frag. Shiro now needs another clutch, another 1v2. They ask this of this guy all the damn time. Shiro, he saw a leg. Sometimes that's all he needs. There's the first. Gets out of there as well. Naf, no opportunity to trade, no chance to chase him down. He's got to take this fight on Shiro's terms. And Shiro, Demon in the Molotov, locks in another clutch round for Gambit. Look at this guy. Hello! Shiro is impeccable in these situations.
It's just so comfortable, right? He knows all eyes are on him, not just his teammates, but his opponents as well. And boy, you got to be scared when you see him on the scoreboard in that moment. Shiro, I don't know how he does it. Just so consistent, just every single time. Dry fights are his bread and his butter. And nothing's putting a stop to this guy. He wants the series to rage on. 6 rounds in a row for Liquid broken. Gambit streaks a lot harder to break, as Liquid found out last map, and Shiro is sending it back yet again. Oh my goodness. We needed someone to save Gambit. It was looking like they were starting to run out of steam on this T side, slow down a little bit. These dry A plays, the mid takes getting denied. That's more like it for Gambit. And we talk about him, you know, overtaking Jane with the lowest KD. You know, you can make the argument, yeah, there are a lot of saves. There certainly are a lot of saves, but I feel like there are even more clutches for this guy. Talk of AWPs. Fallen cannot leave your mind. He finds Axel with that deep, aggressive underplay. Naf's even pushing the upper halls as well, taking Hobbit. He runs into the orb. Liege found one in the meantime on that A site, so it's kept things fairly fine. Actually, it was under, rather. Sorry, he was a guy with Fallen in the start of the round. Okay. Shiro, very sad about that one. Fallen just hops into B at the right time. 4 on 2, and with Shiro dead, I don't know if anyone could fill that void.
Yeah, Nafany, they will give him a fight. I hate it when Gambit end up in 1v2s, because for some reason, they always look like they were the favorites all along in these situations. Fallen and Elige need to remain composed, right? I think if you keep losing rounds to clutches, that's when you get in your own head. These are not meant to go so frequently in favor of Gambit. They need to group up and play this together if that bomb does go down in B. Nafany walking in. Fallen might hit this timing just as Nafany gets out, and he will. Perfectly timed for Fallen on that retreat back, with Nafany taking time to clear out trucks so that he doesn't die dropping in. Fallen collects the frag. The safeguard, the stopper of the clutch. Fallen, the gatekeeper of clutch situations. And the man to open up the round and deal with Shiro. Perfect.
Yeah, you needed that, right? Just anyone dropping that man gives you a big sigh of relief right now for Liquid, and they're just happy that things are rolling their way. 7-4, or the Eagles, and like Liquid have not been ecoed in this map, really not in this series either. Impressive enough. It can be hard to put a stop to low buys in the current meta, but Nafany still making us consider it. Drops Stewie in mid finally, the first fall. Couple of deep B players for Liquid still fighting for the apartments. We've got Naf tucked in with Elige baiting for him. Fallen a lot of angles to watch on A. Luckily has Grim to cover Palace on timings, even going to get out of danger as this B walk comes in for Gambit. They're far from committed. They have this window control, this lower mid, and a man outside of A. Anything could happen. Anything can move for Gambit. They leave the bomb in B, but even if Elige rotates, Naf won't. In fact, he might even get aggressive. Axel, if he gets pushed here and dies, the bomb's dropped, the round is over. Liquid won't go any further. Elige dropping. If that is heard by Axel, that is misinformation. Naf can't afford to fall here. He's just trying to stop the plant.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do is die and give this AWP away. Oh my goodness. Wow, that's kind of awkward. There we go. Fallen's good for those.
Risky
Fallen doesn't miss those. The bomb is outside of B while all this is happening. Axile is trying to make a late play into this B site happen, and he could even wrap Nafly to reap the reward of an M4. Naf won't hear these footsteps, and now Axile's going to blindside him. Now's not the time for Axile to miss these. This is getting out of hand. Grim throwing in to a 1v2 clutch. Can he succeed where Gambit have tried and succeeded so many times before? It's Grim time now, baby.
I just talked about how these ecos have not come through for Gambit. What a time to turn that around, change the storyline. Grim's got a clear close right. He's got 2 1v1s, and he's read the first, taking down Axel, 6 health. He's got the kit, but it's a short plant. Why would Hobbit be up in the apartments? They've just come from that A site, Grim. Gonna try and tap it, force the fight. Nothing coming, time ticking, and Hobbit needs to find him. Oh, he's dropped in, Grim turns, but Hobbit's quick. 1 shot's all he needs, and he finds it. Finding 5 for Gambit. Whew, it's not clean, it's not pretty, but that was just Eagles, not even armor, and they get it over the line.
Yeah, it all started with that deep kill in middle, which felt very, inconsequential in the moment. But oh, how it falls apart for Team Liquid there. Clutching against Gambit. Man, these guys invented the clutch. You ain't gonna do that. And so now a timeout, and justifiably so. Think about how these last couple of rounds have gone, right? You've had clutch victories coming out the wazoo for Gambit. Now they've won a round with the Eagles. This is where Liquid are maybe starting to get a little bit worried with where they're at, right? It very much felt like they were in control. Now they can start to feel that veil slipping away. That idea of control is no longer there, but
Again, the double under drop. Elige, oh, he's having a great game, and nothing is going to put him away from that. Nafany dead. Fallen's still got his under as well. Elige can try and get out, and now if they see him out, they'll never consider Fallen in this position. It won't matter. Oh, Elige does die, okay. They still no longer consider under, but they don't care about mid either. Back to this A site attack where 2 CTs sit. Fallen can rotate out of mid. Had a moment's notice, but the smoke's already come down for Con. So that's Fallen's rotate gone. Grim does win his fight. Stewie by surprise catches Inters out Palace, and the bomb is alone. It's on Shiro though. Don't count him out. You'd be a fool to do so. Fallen wins the mid fight. Now it is another clutch. But this one, come on, Shiro. Surely not.
There's no way that he can win this one, right?
That's how they all start, Harry.
Surely not. Naf is over here in top middle, holding it with a scout, but Shiro's not coming his way. Instead, moving in through the Palace. Now, with Fallen in the A-bomb site, right, holding from CT, him and Stewie, you hope would be able to contain this, would be able to trade this. We said that Fallen's felt like the gatekeeper of clutches. And in the ones where he's around, he's able to keep them under control. Shiro with 20 seconds left might just be saving.
I mean, I wouldn't be against that. This is such a difficult clutch. Surprised he's not even poking his head in, but he also doesn't want them to get the info on his position. And all it takes is a bit of head shown for Liquid to take it off. So Shiro will save his Hob. And fair enough, money's on the line here. Look at the cash, right? Hobbit can double drop. We can get a rifle from Nafany. It's all fine. Shiro flexing the fact that he still has the orb. It's still Liquid holding on to yet another A take. And that one doesn't get weird and wild either, right? 3 are up for Liquid. Money still being made in these rounds. It's back and forth now for the last 5. No one getting 2 in a row since that streak of Liquid of 6.
And still brimming with confidence. Liege wanting to take top middle. Now, don't go too far into the Lion's Den. Liege catches a bullet, and you don't often get those out of Shiro.
Yeah.
He's not able to get away. He's not able to count his blessings and, you know, take that one as a missed shot. Now Fallen dead, dropping into lower. Everyone on Liquid is looking to fight middle, but Gambit are just waiting, because thus far, the more they've waited, the more rewards they've reaped in this round.
Yeah, they've also probably started to cotton on to the fact that Liquid have done these lower drops a lot with multiple players with that AWP as well, so Gambit are very ready to trade Fallen out under. Takes Hobbit with him, but is still holding for this top mid push. I don't think it will come in. Liquid look like they're just waiting for it to come to them, but right into Nafany, and you know Shiro's Orb is still in the picture, so you take it and you run. Stewie checks out lower, keeping Naf safe and secure up top mid, and he's found the bomb on Shiro as well. Stewie needs to look back down low, and he's seen Axel as he takes the headshot. Inters alone with the Deagle, often the guy taking their brunt, taking the hit when it comes to weaponry. And really no way back in.
Yeah, they're just ready to double swing him at a moment's notice, safeguard that 9th round. And so this is still, I mean, either we're going to get another 9-6 half, or finally Liquid are able to one-up themselves in 10-5 Gambit here.
That's true, right? Back-to-back 9-6s.
And an idea at 10-5 half, ooh, I mean, imagine if that was something you're able to muster back on Vertigo, how one round can make all the difference, right? So they're getting pumped, they're getting hyped. Into round 15 we go. Gambit gonna accent this one with a little tack pause. Really trying to milk this half for all it's worth.
Yeah, you know, they've done fine with 6, right? They've had competitive games, they've had a win in overtime. Yeah, this last round, this one extra number does make all the difference. So make use of every moment you've got. This is, you know, arguably, or maybe unarguably, the matchup of the group. The 2 top teams head-to-head from what we've seen so far and what we expect. Nip didn't live up to the hype against Liquid. They did manage to take down Entropic today at least. Fury have a stand-in. And so it kind of just leaves these 2 teams at the top of the board. And this series has proven that as well. Super competitive. Liquid off the back of a break, taking on number 2 in the world and making them work for it. Maybe even more than that. Faster to mid Gambit. Up the pace, up the ante. Stewie will meet them right there in the smoke. You know his name, you know his number. And you know his location, but can you stop him? No.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage done by Stewie. Enough to repel Nafany out of the connector. While this is happening, Naf And Fallen are taking Apartment's control away. Nafany coming back up after getting tagged. Could get caught here, but he's cognizant of this push potential. He's dealt with Naf on the aggro. And so suddenly, what was a big move for Team Liquid in taking this Apartment's control has now tipped into something that's advantageous for Gambit. Fallen could equalize. He could. Or
the Fallen flick.
He's got the flicks. Fallen still got it. Back and better than ever, perhaps. Stewie 2K misses this timing on the players getting up com, but then nails it the second time around. Sure, one gets by. There's more where that came from, though, and Elige gets boosted up and over. The smoke nullifies the boost, nullifies these short players. Instead, we're looking at Fallen and Grim back in CT. The Molly denies a bomb plant, buying even more time for these CT players to get set up. You lose Elige in rotation, but you've still got this double CT hold, or at least you did. Now it's gone, and Stewie cut down as well. Gambit, it's another 6-9 half. That's all I have to say, really. Like, this is unreal. Just tune in a moment.
Hey Future Pros, back to Mirage with another smoke. This smoke is pretty situational. And
the night rages on. Gambit keep fighting even against the tide, a 9-6 half for the third time in a row, and Gambit just don't know when to quit. Clutch is coming out of every orifice, and Liquid's still standing tall. We'll see if this tidal wave of Liquid can sweep over Gambit to close out their T side. A streak of blue on the defense for Liquid, and they've really earned their space here. No matter what happens in this second half, it's been a great series, Harry.
Oh, it really has. You know, some of us more lost for words than others. Yes. I can tell you that. Hobbit.
My voice is dying. Yeah. Don't worry.
Taking a little peek down towards ramp. Now the rest of Liquid here taking catwalk while Naf is waiting over at ramp. Oh no, Shiro falls short.
Okay.
Now, Hobbit will try and pick up the pieces, but there's just too many for his Hobbit hands. Bomb plant now coming in. Axel not going to try and deny it, and so now you're throwing into this in a 3-on-4 retake.
Fallen's here to win the round. They're going to check him. At least the aim punch has so many problems for Fallen. 3-on-3. This retake is now spurred on, ready to go. Kit smoke available. Inters jump up second time. Stewie's good for the first, and Inters will trade. Grim still in window, but he turns around as they come through the murder hole, and now they want to murder his hole. He's going to run back to Connector. 2-on-2. It's still winnable for Gambit, but they've got to get on the bomb, and they've got to do it now.
Oh, smoke defuse.
Reload.
Smoke defuse. They're both reloading. It's a 10-second stint.
Liquid got it. Always fine.
Also,
always under control.
Trying to say that, but oh my God, still, like, oh my word, they're both
close.
reloading. They were both reloading. That almost gave him the room.
You hate it when you're watching
mate, that's why everyone needs it.
Yeah. When you're watching that, they're just aiming inches away. It's just so terrifying, but nice close from Grim. Close from Grim. And look at that bar at the top. Look at how close it got. It literally got, Harry, to the millimeter. It could not have been closer to a defuse. Gambit were probably already celebrating the round when the final frag comes in, 10-6, and that might spur Liquid on. That should not have been their round.
No, they're going to be very, very happy with that. Now they're able to snatch it away. Denying that smoke defuse at the final millisecond. Hobbit. Once again with the ramp aggro. Heavy A stack here for Gambit, putting a lot of faith in Inters over at B. Hobbit works his way into the close ramp angle, only good for one. Grim does not want to lose this bomb on this solo ramp push, but the rest of his team are out here cleaning up house. It's 11 on the board for Liquid. They get past the buy from Gambit, the Deagles, the Armor, the MP9s. They brush that all aside, and now they've got a nice, easy round teed up. 12 looking to be on the board for Team Liquid.
And really, Harry, at this scoreline, nothing could possibly go wrong. There's no way this could come back to bite them. So that with an air of caution. Double nades for Gambit, but otherwise this USP round should just fall flat on its face. Like that smoke in the window, or rather not in the window. Bounce back, not a problem luckily, no one peeking off of it. And no one on ramp for these nades to find either. Lige is about to uncover the terrible truths of this round. And he finds out the hard way. Quick kill for Hobbit. Smoke of the con, but all that does is lock Gambit out of fights to Liquid. So they can just walk up short, take this B site, and waltz in for a 12th round. They don't know it though. They've actually only seen Hobbit, right? So you can read whatever you want, but you don't know where the other 4 players are.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Grim is going to be the guy to steal this info away. And also they're set up on Cat, so it's looking like a B split anyway. I just almost wonder if that con smoke that Hobbit threw kind of makes you, makes you go, well, why would they do that? It's almost like they're trying to direct us over here towards short.
Ooh. Okay.
Shots through the smoke are at least assuring you and like, okay, there's more on A. So moving into B, the right call for Team Liquid. You just got to get past this 1 MAC-10. It shouldn't cause too many problems, if any. And so with it dealt with, it's just the USPs. There are 2 nades that you could look to throw in. Oh, now 1 nade. And now none nades.
Oh, none nades, yeah. I mean, not truly English, but you tried. And well, once dropped in market, but picked right back up by... Oh, there's an exit. Dude, these USPs are terrifying. There's a quick gun grab by Shiro. He can run away with a Glil. Gambit just trying to keep Liquid to die with a bomb. Shiro might even get more exits, more damage maybe, but yeah, Liquid, they stay close enough and they just peel back into B to keep their weaponry. 3 alive. It's a good round for Liquid. They're more than happy with it. Gambit, on the other side, they've got to show everything they've got right here, right now. This buy round is the game for Gambit, as close as it gets. Without it, your next buy is not till 14-6. And even though comebacks and chokes can be prevalent, I just don't see that falling short. And I don't even say that sarcastically or ironically. I mean that more than anything. This is it for Gambit. They've got to do something now.
Well, a missed window smoke. I couldn't help them on their way.
Twice.
Might not be ready for Nafany here. Now, Stewie should be able to call. Yeah, window's not smoked, boys. We fumbled it.
Fumble, still skin. Oh.
Mid control taken for Team Liquid. Shiro all the way back here on this A bomb site, and Liquid set up to go B. Taking the bomb late back through apartments, going to join up with Fallen here, but looks like Gambit may be a 1 step ahead. Oh, I say that, they were about to rotate Shiro over, but something's possessed him to go back. You've got Stewie in con. You can either use him to try and sell a fake or cut down these players in rotation. But that and the success that comes off the back of it hinges on his teammates getting these B entries and getting into the site in the first place. It does, however, leave you an option to try and go elsewhere or have him coming on a backstab, and that's going to be the option here, but... Gambit are aware that they've conceded this con control, and Shiro is holding for Stewie. The shot misses, and now Stewie's coming through with the lurk. His teammate's dead in the apartments. These kills are going to be quick. Time is running out. Time is the problem. And Inters manages to get past. manages to dodge death. The round is lost to time by the looks of things. And there's Elige mopped up. Stewie might even go down after time. Thankfully, Hobbit shows some mercy.
Oh, Elige could have even killed Inters. He was 3 health. Elige was just so focused on getting that bomb. He didn't even fire, man. 1 bullet. You're not thinking that if you're Elige. You're not thinking, man, I just need to shoot him once with a Glock. But if he hit that shot, Harry, bomb would have been grabbed. Suddenly you can drop into the bomb site. You know, it's not a good situation for Liquid, but it is a winnable round. In the same vein, thank goodness Gambit win it. Because if Shiro misses that shot and Stewie comes in, he doubled up on the entry into B, killed both B players. If that wins around for Liquid, Shiro's going to be kicking himself. We've got the con boost, Fallen fighting for mid control. Liquid was so good at locking them out on CT side, and Gambit have the same feeling. Pushed up is Axel on Cat, we have Con. We have this Orbashiro hanging around jungle, smoked off right now. Liquid have patched the window smoke or told someone else to throw it. Fallen's looking for the B pick. Hard shot to hit on a jumping player, but Fallen's a hard man. That's more like it.
Misses the jump, but now they hit the go button. They're coming in. You do have Axel over at short, ready to help his teammate out in the site, and to great effect at that. It's a double. They're not faltering. They're not failing, and Fallen is not ready for the repeat. That is a lovely B hold out of Gambit. The 2 incumbent B site players both winning 2 separate engagements, and buying more than enough time for the whole squad to come in laughing. And now it's 8 on the board for Gambit. Well and truly back on this path to recovery. We're in for another close game by the looks of things, and we wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, and now if you're looking, you're telling yourself, all right, guys, it's not done yet. You know, hold on, deep breaths, have a sip. Because Gambit are starting to pick up a few rounds here on the CT side. They've broken the money, 4 Glocks now. Look, we've got to wait 1. This game is far from done. Spammed is grim by Axel. It's one way to do it. Hopping out of Palace now. They don't have even a flash to get them there, nor is the bomb in position. We had Gambit win this round with Deagles, right, when they went for a similar play. But you've got to get kills on A to actually sell this one, to get the B players out of position. I don't think that's happening. Think foul, Nafany not finished off though, and that might be everything. Elige runs into the double B setup that has not moved an inch, and Gambit hold 9 rounds with another flawless pickup. That's 10 players alive in 2 rounds. That's a lot of money made. Liquid's work cut out for them here in the second half.
And even the actual investment you're adorning right now is not very pretty, right? Like, this is your buy to try and put a stop to Gambit really, you know, taking the reins and making this comeback look more than achievable. You're relying on 3 Galils, 2 AKs to make it happen. Not an AWP in sight for a guy like Fallen. Very heavy A presence from Gambit here as well. We've seen these B plays have not worked wonders for Team Liquid. And so this feels like a bit of a gamble, a bit of a read that Nafany's cooked up. Liquid working this mid-control again. Elige, while he looks ready, that's still the opener for Gambit. He does a lot of damage to Nafany, but that's not what you want at this point in the game. You just want someone to find these openings, create this space.
Behind the smoke, Hobbit. We've even got Shiro with the AWP and that man hidden at the back of the bomb site. Even if Liquid get these entries, they're not ready for the fly in the ointment. Hobbit, good for 1. Make that 2. Nav caught throwing nades, and Shiro closes. That's 15 players standing in 3 rounds for Gambit. They just won't go down without a fight, without any fight. Giving Liquid no room. And now you're starting to feel the tides change. Now you're starting to feel the pressure again if you're Liquid. This game was free as anything. This was them running around having a great time. What's gone wrong? Gambit, 10 rounds, double digits. And a tech pause coming through for Liquid. It's attack initially, rather. I think attack might come. Yes. That's what it looks like. A couple of crashes. That's fine. That's fine. We're all good. Nothing's gone wrong. Not yet, but it's slowly but surely catching up with you if you're Liquid. You are far from out of the woods. You cannot see the light at the end of the tunnel. All you see is more tunnel.
It is a scary place to find yourself, especially versus, as you did a great job in highlighting, 15 players in the last 3 rounds surviving. That's all 5 every time for Gambit. Ooh, that's scary, right? Because for guys like Shiro, that means you're never going to have to forego an AWP. It means even if you start winning rounds, you're not going to break their money and be on a home stretch to winning this, right? It's going to be a real grind for Team Liquid. This is a real test of where the mental game of this squad is at, right? Are they still plagued with the burdens of Liquid of old, or is this a new beast altogether?
Yeah, because it felt like, you know, they almost like put it to bed in that second map, right? Liquid, they lost some really crucial rounds right in the final few of regulation, yet they still held on. They got that 15th. Okay, they couldn't close. Yeah, you can't win them all. And yeah, they fell in overtime. But I wouldn't have looked at that Vertigo game and gone, oh, classic Liquid choke. No, like they really picked themselves back up when things went bad. Yeah, they lost overtime, but just Gambit had more to show. Axel had that great recovery. This is more attuned to the script for Liquid. More worrying. 12-6. And we said that must-win rifle round that Gambit had to take. They've done it and they've run with it.
Yeah, and that's perhaps the scariest part. These aren't close, you know, drawn-out affairs. These are dominant victories for Gambit. Thus far, when Liquid are going through it and they're looking at how this has panned out, they're thinking like, mate, we're not gaining ground anywhere. We're not making a dent in this. Nothing is working. It feels like, you know, even in like how the players are peaking, guys like Elige who are having this phenomenal game, he's starting to get a little more nervous.
It's getting late, mate. It's getting late. You know, our throats are dusted up, Harry. I can't imagine how the fingers are feeling for Liquid, right? How long can you keep this going? Well, that is the true test right now. We're back in, folks. It's another round. Gambit, like said, living with Liquid rent-free in their head. Wait, other way round.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's late.
Almost right.
It's late.
It's fine, man.
Yeah, we can lose a couple of rifle rounds. It's fine. We can mess up a few sentences, throws. It's all part of the biz. But losing like this, that's not what Liquid want.
No, I think it's important, like, just for these guys to be able to say as well that, like, in a series as close as this, where Gambit should have been the favorites, right? Like, considering how good this team have looked, how the only time they fell off was back on LAN, right? And now we're back in the online, you know, state of play, man. Like, this is one where Gambit were the expected victors. I think it's important for Liquid, for them in their journey, and for them building this team up to be able to have that resilience to actually, you know, put this curse to bed once and for all.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, if Liquid lose this game, you're still, I think still, we're expecting big things in the group. They've had a great couple of days here at the Pro League. Gambit right now is showing that X Factor, that Tier 1 CS, and they're just mauling them. Another flawless round, 5 alive for 4 times. That's 20 players. That's too much money to break through. You're just not going to get Gambit ecoing for the rest of the game if you're Liquid, and you have to accept that. They have this info. They know just as well as we do. It's fine. That was an eco. But Gambit are clawing their way back into our hearts, into our minds, and into the finish line.
Yeah, we need a kind of heroic character to emerge on Team Liquid, right? Because as these rounds have just sailed by, it feels like everyone's going quiet. Sometimes even one person having a round where they just do something good, like I'm talking like a multi-kill, like 2 or 3, can reignite the team. You know, we saw that even just the other day with Guerri and Furia. When he was getting knife kills, it would reinvigorate the squad, and suddenly they started to believe again. They were having more fun with it.
Yeah.
So who will be that man? Shiro over here in middle, looking to keep you in your own head. They exchange Molotovs in lower. Stewie Has a guy trapped, and he's done damage, but the kill goes the other way. Heartbreaking start to the round, and now Elige, who tasked with trading this, probably won't be able to do so. There's an AWP battening down on him over in middle. Actually, it's the AK and Nafany in window, but not even needed. Axile doubles up. The trade is denied, and somehow what should have at least been a player trapped in lower, a near guaranteed trade kill, has actually only extended this Gambit advantage further.
Liquid just weren't in position, right? They were, you know, it was only Elige out top middle. Everyone else was playing their bomb sites in their own positions, and so, you know, Axel calls for help. He gets it from window. He gets double-faced. Now the Orbs come back to take middle. They fake out a cat play. Shiro confirms it's not a reality. That Molotov might cause problems with vision on this cross, but Shiro stays on it. Assured. 20 seconds, Liquid, they've lost the split. It's just from mid. Flash over the top, and it's not going to do anything to the Bout player. Hobbit holds strong one, almost a second. Shiro's through the smoke, no respect needed, none given. 10 seconds, Naf. It's a 1v4 that's not going to happen. He's taking a kill, but they instantly trade. And that's it, Gambit. They've equalized the scoreline. 12-12, timeout for Liquid. Absolutely the right call. If not, a little late, maybe. Still time to find a second wind. Gambit are evidence of that back on Vertigo, but this is quite the recovery, storming to the front line. Gambit looking to rock and top the group in style. And this is their arguably biggest threat.
Now, the last, investment we had came with this caveat of, like, it didn't have everything you wanted. This one still kind of has that, right? Like, Fallen once again not getting it done this AWP. I think it's criminal that we haven't had someone who can at least attempt to go blow for blow with Shiro.
It's very hard. Shiro's not giving you normal fights. He's not even taking, like, window spawns. Like, now he is. Okay, Naf gone. But yeah, he's often just been fighting on A, right? Back in CT, back in jungle. Now Liquid, they try and take spawns out of middle, and it's the smoke shot headshot for Shiro to start off. Hobbit's hidden in on the sandwich, looking to take a bite out of this site, and Shiro is waiting for the smoke fade. He should get one surely at this range. Oh, he saw them. They're out and about. Hobbit is here to close.
Yeah, there's the first for Hobbit. Can he get any more? Trapped in at sandwich. Grim will make a meal of him, and they do chase Shiro down and out of the round as well. Now that they're in a 3-on-3, Liquid, they wait for a moment. They go quiet just for a second, smoking off connector, trying to give themselves safe passage. They need to be ready for Nafany, and instead, Axel's come through this smoke. The round's locked in for Gambit.
I don't think the timing could have been better for Gambit, because that wasn't even like, oh yeah, peek on me. No, Into's flashed over from short to pop that player through the smoke. As the cross comes in, the flash hits, the spam hits, and the con smoke push comes in. It all happens within a second for Gambit, and Liquid just get thrown to the wolves. That slowdown, if anything, just buys Gambit time for rotate. It was a good call for Liquid, but that's got to feel like everything is against you there. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong, and now Shiro in window. Did he even molly the smoke? Or is that his?
It's not his, and he didn't molly it. That's just a missed window smoke again out of Team Liquid, giving him this little one-way gap.
Dear, oh dear.
Oh, and there he
is,
reaping the reward of it. If you miss your smokes, they will be sure to capitalize. This is another dead in the water round. Grim trying his best to make it interesting, but it's all but stripped away.
8 rounds in a row, and match point looms in the distance.
Since getting onto this CT side, since the rifles have come out, Gambit have looked like a different beast altogether. While they've gotten more pumped up, Liquid feel like they've slowed down massively. They've deflated.
Nice. Pin in the balloon.
Well, for NA's hope, this is really their last full go of it. This is their chance to still get folks believing. Nafany taking aggro over here in middle. He's heard Elige drop down, and Elige is not ready for this. Nothing they can do to trade either. Nafany gets out of there. A freebie.
Yeah, this is so impressive for Gambit. Every round they've got a new trick, they've got a new thing to throw at you, right? Shiro back to no longer fighting mid with the AWPs, up in Palace even, looking for an aggro peak. Nafany playing the snacks play in short smoke, which has never come through all game. They have to replenish window. Shiro, this is where he's been waiting all round, and he gets delivered. First class. Naf gone. No smokes left up. They're about to fade and connect. The Hobbits holding for it. Once they commit, Axel can drop out and backstab. But Grim has found the entry. That can give Liquid a bit of life in this round. But here's Axel's drop from mid with a bomb falling as well. Nafany fights with him. Nice kills from Stewie. Was that a transfer? I have no idea how he gets 2 frags there. 2-on-2 now. Liquid still have hope, but Gambit are collapsing on them from different positions.
Yeah, bomb plant's open. They're anticipating a Palace peak, but instead it's Shiro out through ramp. He's just seen Fallen in CT, so Inters is ready for this fight. Fallen the timing. The Molly's trapped him in. Inters can't see him, but the Molly's going to burn him out regardless. Stewie 2K has now got to do it all. 1v2 under Palace. And no idea where that second man is. Inters wraps him through CT.
Yeah, I don't know if Fallen ever saw, like, in the Molly, I don't think he ever saw Inters, because Inters certainly didn't see him. It's typically the players closest to the Molly that can see further through. But look at this double from Stewie. Look at this. Ha! All for nothing, though. It's got to hurt the most. Shiro makes so much noise and even fires a bait orb shot, knowing Stewie has to be in the bomb site. He got there on such a good timing that once the plant came in, he knew no one could have left. He's Palace or he's site. That's what he's telling Inters. And Inters walks in with no knowledge from Stewie. This is a horrific way for the series to fall apart after Liquid commanding this third map, rather. Gambit show them who's really top of the world. The best of the best. And wanting to meet Na'Vi in the playoffs as well, who wouldn't? They ran through the group with ease.
I mean, this is a Gambit that's out for blood, right? That much is apparent. Not even NA's best enough to match up against our CIS overlord. Shiro holding down middle. Liquid, deflated Liquid going back in to this A-bomb site. Hobbit up close at ramp. He loves this position, does Hobbit, and it's not hard to see why. There's the opening. He's ready for a second. Hobbit is tearing any hope of a comeback away, doubling up. It's back to the drawing board for Team Liquid. A 3-on-5 up against 15. Gambit looking to make this flawless run since the pistol and the conversions happen in one hell of a series. Nafany blindside Stewie for Naf and Fallen. They're in a 2-on-5 to try and put a stop to 10 in a row for the Gambit squad. To try and put a stop to this series being stolen away on the third map of Mirage, and it's not looking good. Shiro locks it in. It ends how it felt like all the opportunities started for Gambit. It ends with Shiro. They 2-1 Team Liquid, and NA, it's a sad day.